Welcome back! You can see that I've got a simple scene set up. I have 3 spheres. One of them is white. The other 2 are shaded with gradients so that I can see red and green and a little bit of blue. I've got a light in the scene, and the light is allowing the spheres to cast shadows down on the plane. After I've finished with the render view, I will walk you through setting up a scene like this one so that we can all render together. But for now, I would like to finish talking about the render view so that you can see a few more things. First, I've got this toolbar across the top. With the toolbar, this first pull down says Beauty. There's nothing else in it right now. This toolbar is connected to an item in the render settings window called AOVs. AOVs will allow me to do things like render out my diffuse elements separately from my specular elements. They will also allow me to render out my direct and indirect lighting separately. If I do that, let's just get this a little bigger here. We'll take that one. We will take that one. You'll see the render runs again, and now over in Beauty I can see my direct and indirect lighting. Pretty neat. So this first pull down is connected to the AOVs in the render settings window. Second, I've got the camera pull down. Right now the only camera in the scene that Arnold considers to be renderable is the perspective shape. And that's fine. In later scenes we will be working with custom cameras, but for now perspective is okay. And you'll see that anytime I rotate the perspective camera, that does in fact rotate my render. Next, I can isolate selected, which means that if I select an object, that will be loaded into my render, and the rest of the scene won't. This is pretty nifty because it will speed your renders up. If I look down here, rendering NURB Sphere Shape 2 only took me 2 seconds. When I go back and render the entire scene, that takes me around 6 seconds. It would probably be done already, but of course I am also using screen capture software, and that can make things take longer. Next to isolate select, I've also got the ability to see my red channels, green, blue, alpha, luma, and then back to the whole scene. Again, this can be nice for troubleshooting so that you know what areas of color are what and where you'll be getting transparency in your renders. This will show me my alpha channel, and that's a toggle. I can turn it on and off. And this will move me back to the real size of my render. While I'm here, just so you are aware, your standard camera controls will work. Right now, Alt left click will only allow me to move, as will Alt middle click, and Alt right click will allow me to zoom on the pixels. This last button will allow me to crop and only render a region, which is great. Right now my render is taking around 8 seconds, but if my render is taking longer, let's say I have a 20-minute render and I'm trying to troubleshoot one light, I can use this button, crop out this one region, and then only this one region will render. It can look a little weird. If I take this sphere and I move it, you'll see that it appears to move only inside of this region. When I turn this back off, I'll go back and render the whole scene again. So crop region is a very nice, quick way for you to troubleshoot just one area of a lengthy render. This last slider will allow me to adjust the exposure of the view that I'm looking at. When exposure is up, the scene brightens, down, and it darkens. Again, this will only affect your view inside of Maya. This will not render out, so I don't recommend that you use the exposure slider. Up at the top of the window, the File menu will allow me to save an image or open an image. That's pretty nice if you just need to take one frame out of Maya. This is a great way to do it. It will not export a sequence, but it will help you save one image. Window has all kinds of useful stuff in it. For example, in the Window menu, there's a 3D manipulation thing that I can check. If I check it, now when I come into the render view, my Alt left click should allow me to rotate. Let me see why it's not doing that. Also in Window, there are toolbar icons that will allow you to show and hide different icons on the toolbar. So I could turn off that exposure icon that I don't like, but the one that I want to add is the 3D manipulation icon. I think that I'm having trouble just because of my screen capture software. When I'm in 3D manipulation mode, the camera inside the viewport here should work exactly the same as the camera in 3D space. So you'll be able to move, rotate, and zoom your camera using your Alt, left, middle, and right clicks. The View menu will enable you to look at your different AOVs and your different channels if you need to. And the Render menu will allow you to turn on and off the IPR if you need it. The big thing that you should be aware of is this Window menu with the toolbar icons so that you can turn on and off things that you find useful or non-useful. I do recommend that you add the 3D manipulation icon, and hopefully it will work better for you than it does for me. I am going to pause this video right here. When I get back, I will show you how to set up this scene, including the light.